This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Let us do this. Good Friday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158 on a football Friday. Not exactly all football, but mostly football.
It's a lot of football.
It's Gil Alexander. It's Kelly Bidlin. That's the voice of Kelly Bidlin, everybody. Say hello to my friend Kelly, would you? Now you say hello back, Kelly.
Hey.
Hey. How you doing?
We got some football, too. Football and football.
We have football. We have football. That's right. We have some UFC 324 a little later on with Jordan Sherwood as they shift from pay-per-view to Paramount. You familiar with this? Is the big
I'm
sea
sort of
change.
familiar with it. You don't have to pay for it?
Well,
or is it kind of like the
I
ESPN?
think you have to pay for a Paramount subscription, right? Don't you?
I don't know. We'll check with Bobby Knuckles after this.
I think you do. Yeah.
Wow,
You get Paramount.
okay.
You get Paramount Plus. You get every. I mean, that part you do have to pay for. But I'm saying there's no like pay-per-view massive cost per event.
I guess
now.
I figured it was going to be the same thing as when ESPN took it over, because you had to have ESPN Plus, and then you still paid for the event.
Oh, you're getting the Australian Open people mad already because there's just levels of that. Anyway, UFC going to a subscription-based thing on Paramount Plus, and now you have that. You have archived fights. UFC 324. We'll talk to Jordan Sherwood about that later. We will talk with Chris Felica, the Bear, of course, on not only the National Football League, but horse racing and soccer. He has that as well. Paul Carr, of course, on the Prem. And Dr. Bob will join us later, as will Steve Fezzik on a Football Friday. So it's Felica, it's Fezzik, it's Dr. Bob. It's the normal Football Friday routine. Let's enjoy it while we can, because obviously as football segues into other sports, maybe we won't have this pleasure every Friday morning. But Dr. Bob was on the Megapod yesterday. I still think he's doing his capsules on both games, which is fantastic. It is the most thorough. I'm going to sit here and say this. The most thorough analyses you can find on these two championship games is on the Megapod this week.
Nice.
I feel like I stand on firm ground in saying that. It's so great that I've asked Dr. Bob to come on today, for those who missed that on the Megapod, and give his dissertation on one of these two games later today. The reason I say one of these two games, Kelly, is we simply don't have time.
Don't have the time. It's okay. I like it. We do one game, and then, go check out the Megapod.
A podcast is open gym. This is like gym class where the teacher blows the whistle at some point.
Yep.
So we're going to have him do one game, and it is...
He's got a shot clock.
It is, let's put it this way, I'm going to say, if you have his conviction on this game, you will want to bet 5 times what you're already betting. That's the effect he has.
Wow, okay.
I'm not saying you should, I'm just saying that's the effect he has.
Yeah, I got it.
And then Fezzik Friday's a little later on, and that man is angry.
Dude, we shouldn't have talked about it on the air. We got to stop talking about it on the air of how much he texts us every Friday, because now he's just trying to break his own record. That's what's going on. Now he's just trying.
Just keeps texting us. Like, stop. It's okay. We'll talk when we
I
get
was
here.
driving it while he was texting it. I'm like, I'm going to need at least 3 more stoplights if I'm going to be able to catch up on all this.
No, it's all great stuff. But he's got opinions, the man, and we love opinions. And he'll talk about both championship games as well, because I think he has a bet on one of them coming up for Championship Sunday, of course, in the National Football League. Before we do anything, by the way, there's the Beating the Book Megapod, where Bob does his thing this week with Will Hill, Todd Wishnev, and I, and me, I should say. Will, Todd, and I, this is just a spoiler alert, Will, Todd, and I don't really talk that much. So there you go.
Will never gets to talk.
Oh, well, he did better this year than last year.
He did better this year.
And by that, I mean we've got to put the muzzle on Todd a little more.
I was going to say, I don't think it's a Will issue.
Yeah, that's what that means. All right, so tennis, the Australian Open is going on. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but the first slam of the tennis year. Yesterday, 2-1, Kelly.
Nice.
Andrei Rublev preventing the sweep with a horrific performance by him.
Lose the Y, Andre.
Lose the Y. Cut the hair. Stop looking like Justin Timberlake so much.
Oh, yeah, the hair.
He loses to Francisco Cerundolo. But we hit on Yulia Putintseva, who was twerking by the end of the match.
Okay.
To the Australian crowd.
Okay.
Derisively.
That's a choice.
She didn't like that she went after him. This tournament has gotten phenomenal in terms of the cattiness.
Oh, there's so much complaining.
It's so great. It's so fantastic. You see the Osaka
yeah,
Kirstein
I was just
thing?
trying to think, that's who it was, yeah.
Anyway, we hit on Yulia Putintseva. We hit on Iva Jovic as a dog last night, but we lose on Rublev. So today, and again, now that we're in the third round, as I mentioned yesterday, since there are fewer matches, it goes from 128 to 64 now to 32. I'm able to wrap my hands around all of it and put out the picks in the morning now. And so there were 2 leans and 1 play this morning. Nothing on the men's side. I think all the men's prices are right where they ought to be, generally speaking. I will tell you I will tell you the 2 matches that I leaned but didn't have the onions to play.
Okay.
I didn't have, not that I didn't have the onions. It just didn't quite get to the.
Well, that's what I heard. Someone called me up last night. They were like, "Gil doesn't have the onions."
Gil doesn't have the onions. So one of the 2 that is not a play, but like I considered, was Teresa Valentova, believe it or not, against Elena Rybakina. She's a huge dog, but in the end, I just think Rybakina will have enough to take down Valentova, who has great numbers, by the way, on hard courts, but against much lesser competition. That's what it really comes down to when she faces Rybakina. Will those numbers manifest against a elite player of Rybakina status? And I decided no, it won't.
Wow,
in the end.
New name alerts for me.
Teresa Valentova?
Yeah, okay. That one, and then the one you're about to fire on.
The other one that I considered but didn't fire on, Wang Xinyu, who's a Chinese player, who's a really good player, against Linda Noskova. Linda Noskova is top 20 player in the world. If you know tennis, you know her. If you don't know tennis, you probably don't. But Wang Xinyu is like a plus 177 dog, that thereabouts, I should say. She's a really good player who can beat players on her level and below. I came very close to playing her against Noskova, but ultimately I did not. The play that I did make, though, you're going to like this price. Nikola Bartunkova is a 19-year-old Chechen player. 19 years old. She has beaten already in this tournament Daria Kasatkina, who I had terrible regrets not playing Bartunkova against after Bartunkova beat her. And then Bartunkova beat Belinda Bencic, who I never in a million years would have selected over Belinda Bencic or bet over Belinda Bencic. She beat her. I've got Nikola Bartunkova today at plus 350 versus Elise Mertens. Bartunkova's numbers are, I'll just tell you by the scale that I do it, Kelly, just to give you a general sense. 100 is a really, credible tour player. 110 is elite. 110 is Iga, right? 90, not good. That's the scale. Bartunkova right now is about 103s across the board, 1 year, 6 months. Really solid player. Elise Mertens is just a shade below that. Obviously, much more of a veteran player. But I am taking Nikola Bartunkova as I believe this is the most mispriced play on the board today. At plus 350, I think she is live to win this big time. And this price should be nowhere near what it is. Nowhere near.
There's one for your Friday night. I like it.
There you go.
Was this the player that Zach was on yesterday talking about beating Bencic?
Yes, he actually had the stones, just to use another synonym.
Yep.
Now he didn't do a full unit, he said. He said he did a quarter unit, so he didn't go. If she was a $8 dog against Bencic.
Oh my God, it's crazy. That's what that number was yesterday. I heard you like freaking out about it with it, but I don't know if I ever heard a number dropped 8-1.
Again,
wow.
this from a guy who regretted deeply not playing her against Kasatkina, but would never have against Bencic. So Zach did. I think he also did a plus 1.5 sets thing, which he does, I believe. So he cashed a couple ways on that. But yeah, he didn't go full bore on the 8. But he did a quarter, so good on him. Currently, the odds to win the Australian Open, nothing has really changed besides Bencic's disappearance. Bencic's elimination.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Aryna Sabalenka remains the short shot. By the way, she got pushed yesterday by Potapova. Had to win 2 sets in tiebreakers, but Sabalenka gets through. She's plus 160. She's on to the round of 16. Rybakina and Swiatek tonight at 6-1 and plus 650. With Amanda Anisimova also in the mix at 8-1. Anisimova in action against the American Peyton Stearns today. She should have no problem with Peyton Stearns, in my humble opinion. But really, the board hasn't really changed. Everybody's still alive. Our girl Jessie Pegula is still alive. Jessie Pegula takes on Oksana Selikmetova, who I regretted not playing against Badosa, but Jessie will take her down tonight.
If I told you Sabalenka lost her next match, power rank, I don't know, the top 3 that you got left here.
Iga, Rybakina, and Anisimova.
Okay.
Coco still has serve problems.
Because those odds are kind of, we're used to seeing Sabalenka and Iga at the top, from decent separation from the rest of the pack. But the rest of the pack's...
but it's draw-induced, right?
Right.
as I said, Iga ends up in a quarter with both Rybakina and Osaka, and that determines a lot. Sabalenka's like, oh,
yeah, just cruising.
Except last night she had difficulty. So there you go. There's your tennis bet of the day for a Friday night. How about a plus 350? By the way, I just bet it here at Circa at plus 375.
Whoo, there you go.
But plus 350 is the consensus.
And then the same Dinzik line, men's tournament starts next weekend?
Yeah, Drew's line is men's tournament starts on February 1st. That's right.
Can we talk about the, what is it, Kirstea? Is that her name?
Sorana Kirstea.
So, I love these little tennis beefs. They're so adorable. But was she not aware that Osaka does this a lot? You know what I mean? Like,
she was aware. I guess that, what Kelly's talking about, I guess I didn't mean to go deep dive.
I was fascinated by it,
but in between first serve and second serve, Osaka does this thing always where she pumps herself up, she pumps her fist, and she bangs on her own thighs.
Yeah.
And she gets a little vociferous about it.
She's not the only one. She's not the first one.
She's not the only one. She does it all the time. I guess between Kirstea's first and second serve, Sorana was getting a little annoyed by it, I suppose, and so she started talking to the ump about it. The ump's like, hey, look, you're not serving. It's between your serves. Not really a violation of any kind. And at the handshake, it was a very, very cold, quick acknowledgement. And Osaka's like, what's your problem kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Kirstea tells her what her problem is. And Naomi's a sensitive girl. She gets all upset about it. So.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny because it was like, is this your first time watching a match? And I know it's not because you play in these.
Naomi's like, she could have just talked to me.
Sure.
So great. Oh,
that's kind of
man.
the way I felt. It was like a little, I don't know.
Putin Zeva twerking at the Aussie audience, though? Come on, man. That doesn't beat that. Let's go, Yulia. Way to get it done for us yesterday. All right, football on the way. Let's do this. Championship Sunday and so much more on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
On the next edition of Prop Points, we'll have another fun show for all you folks. We'll start off the show with the latest for the NFL injury report and how that could affect betting on player props. Former NFL offensive lineman Mark Schlereth will join the show to preview the AFC and NFC championship games, and then we'll close out the show by giving out my favorite player props and touchdown props for Conference Championship Sunday. I'm John Hansen. Tune in to Friday's edition of Prop Points at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Want to bet smarter? Start with Smarter Insights. Right now you can check out Greg Peterson's college basketball best bets, Dave Tooley's NFL takes, and Rob Moreno's UFC 324 picks. There you go, Rob.
Bobby Knuckles?
Bobby Knuckles. First Strike Podcast, UFC 324 picks, by the way. And later today, you can check out weekend horse racing picks, Nigel Seeley's EPL best bets, that's the Prem, and AFC and NFC championship picks. Right now, use promo code ANG.
ANG as an A numbers game.
To save $60 off a VSiN Pro annual subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. We get tweets of beating the book. I didn't even read any of this. Should I just Ron Burgundy through some of these?
Go for it. I thought we got a couple good ones pre-show, actually.
Oh, pre-show?
Yeah.
I didn't see the pre-show. I'm sorry. Didn't even see that. Scott, New York. I'll do some of the pre-show ones. Maybe I'll go. Bosch in Chicago. Can we revisit thoughts on NFL Offensive Player of the Year? Seems more times than not the AP winner mirrors the Pro Football Writers Association winner. Do we think JSN is winning, or do we strongly believe someone else will win? Also not sure of Kalshi's prediction accuracy on this. Is this one of them that you're referring to, by the way?
Yeah. I do think it's interesting. I think especially when we do have Kalshi and those types around, or anybody that's still hanging odds on awards, you will see the numbers get influenced when these things get announced. They got announced last week, I believe I saw this come down for the Pro Football Writers Association. Pro Football Writers of America, sorry, who they decided on vote-wise.
Stafford won the Pro Football Writers Association MVP.
Yep.
Jackson Smith and Jigba won Offensive Player of the Year. No surprise, Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year for PFWA.
And at least when they first came down, Gil, I noticed Stafford got a big bump because obviously I was interested in that one selfishly and went to go check it. He got a big bump. I think it's tread lightly, be careful. I think now that we do have some of these betting options that we're not used to this, right? Still being able to bet on awards right now. Usually they shut this stuff down and you kind of just got to live with it. I would say be a little careful. Yes, it usually gives some signal, but I would not say it's 100%.
And about the Kalshi's accuracy, again, Kalshi's markets are just based on the bets that have been taken. So it's a reflection of the actual money that has been bet. You have to determine if it's based on insider information or that kind of thing, depending on the market. Scott, New York Best 16. Gil, can you please ask Fezzik when he gets here who bet the line up on the Pats early? I have heard no one on the Pats and that the public is going to be playing them. Then who had the early money, since public usually waits until game day? We'll get Steve's breakdown on that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless I'm missing something, though, Scott, I don't know that there was
I don't think so
any
either.
early movement besides
opened,
the quarterback change.
Yeah, it opened at 6.
Right, yeah.
No Emu Doug. Talking about O's the Mentalist on our show back in the day, says that was one of the best shows I can remember. First, because Kelly's apparently unreadable, and Gil has such a complete and complex memory. No one should be able to read it. Great show. We were just wowed by O's promo. O's the Mentalist. Brian Schaefer 31. Paramount Plus is worth the subscription. You get to watch Landman. Top 5 show all time, worth the watch. Wow, top 5 all time.
All right,
for Landman.
This was brought up a few times. I think Danny and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago. I made it halfway through the first episode. It looks great, Gil. I made it halfway through the first episode about a year ago, and I haven't got to the rest of it. I did watch.
Danny Higgins says it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I love Yellowstone and all those shows too. The one I started a couple weeks ago that I've caught up on is Pluribus. Have you seen that?
No, sir.
Wacky show on Apple TV. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Primetime. Leon Sanders, yo, hey man, hope your studio's comfy enough for Country Club and K. Michael Bidlin this AM. If not, head to the Malibu on the Midwest where we bask in minus 15 Celsius, minus 45 wind chill today. Truth be told, it really only seems like minus 40-ish, so there's that. Heading out for some ice cream. Peace, love, and yos. By the way, to everybody in the country who's going to experience bad weather, man, be safe.
I got no jokes today. Seriously, this is some serious stuff today, this weekend. You guys be careful out there.
Brett Liedka, yo.
We don't know if Dave Ross can be able to get to the studio on Monday. He's very concerned about it.
Wow.
I told him he should have brought a sleeping bag today.
Dave Ross, also co-host of First Strike with Rob Moreno.
That's right.
Brett Liedka, yo, driving through Starbucks, listening to ANG, thinking about Fezzik while I order all these delicious food items. Love y'all. Let's see. Dan Groeschel, I will defend my girl Yulia Putintseva. That crowd was very pro-Sanmez and a bit unruly, in my opinion, colored by the bet I had on her. 1,000%. Yeah, me too, Dan. And Joe C714, did Mira Andreeva really say, blank you, after she won her match to the crowd? It looked like she did if you were lip reading. So the Aussie crowd getting on the nerves of some of these girls.
Great.
And then Danny Burmett said, get that plus 120, plus 1.5 sets on Bartenkova also, just in case she gives it a ride and comes up just short. You can certainly do that. Todd Canarsie, born 65, if you gave Tom Brady truth serum, do you think he's rooting for the Patriots to win the Super Bowl? It's a great question. I do wonder that sometimes. Does Brady's ego say, I'd rather them not win this and get to the Super Bowl? And then Corbin, good late night morning, fellas. If I could be so selfish and get you guys to ask Paul Carr what he thinks about Canada's draw in the World Cup, how it fares for them. I know he probably hasn't done a lot of research for the team up north, but just curious. We will ask him that. All right, real quick now, let's get to the games themselves. Or first, even before that. So Jesse Minter's the new coach of the Baltimore Ravens, the new head coach.
Love it.
Congratulations to anybody who had Jesse Minter over there at Calci. He was the favorite for the Baltimore Ravens job. And the Bills are including Josh Allen in all of their head coaching interviews. And What were your 3 words off air when I brought this up?
As it should be.
Well, that's 4 words, but as they should, is what you said. He added a B. As they should be. So 5 jobs filled, 5 still open. Kevin Stefanski's the new head coach of the Falcons, John Harbaugh, the Giants, Robert Saleh with the Titans, Jeff Hafley goes from the Packers to the Dolphins head man, and now Jesse Minter of the Ravens. Still open, Arizona, Cleveland, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. And those jobs are starting to feel like, especially the Arizona and Cleveland ones and the Vegas ones, like, yeah, whoever's left.
Some of these jobs are not like the others.
Whoever's left are the musical chairs. We got you.
Yeah, open seat with Josh Allen, and then Shedeur Sanders, I guess Geno Smith or whoever's in line, and maybe Kyler Murray. I don't even know. I don't even know if Kyler survives the offseason.
And no surprise, Fernando Mendoza said, I do declare for the NFL draft.
The only thing that was interesting about that to me was like anybody else like me just assumed this already happened already.
Yeah,
like this is a pretty
kind of a done deal.
Pretty late declaration by him.
As long as you say I do declare. You're good. Okay. First thing this week, I took the Broncos plus 5.5. Now, this was a Malcolm Gladwell blink kind of thing where it's just like, you just knew from observing lines for a million years that plus 5.5 was a bridge too far. In other words, the change from Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham, while it should create some of an adjustment, absolutely, a few points, right? Instead, the pendulum swung big time. And so just instinctively, plus 5.5, I'm like, this is, and forgive me, I don't remember who tweeted this, but it was the best tweet of the week, I think, on the subject where he's like, we cannot act like Bo Nix is not that good of a quarterback for 2 years.
Yes, yeah.
And then all of a sudden decide when he's out, the line must swing, a touchdown or more. It just can't be that way. So I'm on the Broncos. Dr. Bob will be on later. I'll just say that again. You should tune in. I'm telling you should. I'm on the Broncos. I still like him at 4.5 where it is now. Plus 4.5. I just
you got 5.5.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's dead man's land, right?
Yeah.
We always talk about that on key numbers in the NFL. I think if you bet at 5.5, absolutely 4.5 would still be interesting. I have a Patriots money line. Look, I think my bet on this game is a perfect example of the playoff betting we've been talking all along. Really, outside of the Seahawks a week ago. It's all been very, very average mid betting sizes for me throughout the playoffs. And I had the Patriots money line just tied in with Indiana on Monday night. And that's not a bet that you're going to see me sink a lot of money into. So I'm sticking with that, Gil. I've gone back and forth. You know what? One thing I find really fascinating about this game, for the amount of crap that we've given the Patriots all year about, hey, you haven't played a schedule, right? Like the schedule's terrible. You haven't really played anybody. If they let's just say they end up winning a Super Bowl, right? The defenses that they will have gone through in this playoff stretch, I have to take back almost everything that I said about them during the regular season, because you're talking.
But I'll just say it again. Will Campbell landing on those 2 fumbles was everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, he's going to have his hands full once again this week, right? I mean, nothing's like the Texans pass rush.
But again, we talk about fumble luck, but then we don't really talk about fumble luck. It's fumble luck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just been a magic carpet ride for the Patriots.
You got these defenses that they're going up to against, which I think is a test. The other one that's been, there's been a lot made about the Patriots defense and how great it's been. But think about, on the other side of this, the past 2 offensive lines that they've faced that have we're not even talking worse in the playoffs. We're talking bottom 10 in the NFL with the Houston Texans and the Chargers with all the injuries coming in. That is not what they're getting in Denver. Nope. They are getting one of the best offensive lines in the NFL that they're going to face. So I'm pretty interested. I'm actually kind of getting interested in the over in this game, and I know I've missed the move. I think it's open 40.5.
2 points already,
open 40.5, up to 42.5. So you miss kind of the key 41. But I'm leaning a bit that way. I might end up on that. I've got more on the other game, Gil, but this one...
You're on the Patriots' money line.
Money line, yeah, just in a money line.
Okay, let me just ask the other question, though. Do we know one person, has one person come on this show this week and taken the Patriots and laid the points?
We did have, 2 yesterday, I think, Danny? I was thinking the same thing.
Who were the 2 people yesterday?
Zach's on the Patriots. I can't remember if he was money line or laid the points, and I want to say Samich was too.
All right,
I could be wrong, though.
I take it back.
But no, I was thinking the same thing. Driving into work yesterday, I was thinking, I haven't heard a single person say I'm laying the points with the Patriots.
Yeah. AFC Championship preceding the NFC Championship. We'll do the Rams. The
Just be a
Seahawks
good game.
coming up as well. Prem League, the Premier League, the Prem with Paul Carr next on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. It's radio's Gil Alexander, everybody. Television's Kelly Bidlin. We cover it all here.
That's right.
We get tweets, beat of the book. Chance Copperpot. Been trying to tell my group the line on the Pats is too high, and all they have is Stidham sucks. That's all they say. Does he? I don't know if we know that, says Chance. Splits say over 70% of the money's on the Pats, but this line is going towards the Broncos. Reverse line movement? Well,
yeah,
by definition.
Yeah, by definition. It's not. And we're not seeing a 6.
No. Paul M. If you're going to talk great shows on Paramount Plus, you have to mention one of the best shows going, Mayor of Kingstown, entering its 5th season.
You know what? That's one that it looks great. I'm sure it is great. I haven't gotten into it yet, though.
Is it Mayor of Kingstown or Mayor of Kingstown? Kingstown?
I think. Yeah,
Kingstown.
I did watch a couple episodes of like a year ago of Tulsa King. So it's Sylvester Stallone.
When do you have time to watch these shows, man?
When you're watching documentaries. I'm watching shows.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's probably right. But those are such a commitment. I mean, you're watching seasons worth. Kevin Ryan, Gil, reign in the land, man. Top 5 show of all time. It wasn't me. It was the guy who tweeted. Good first season, but second season falls off the cliff. Anyone who hasn't watched Mayor of Kingstown is missing the best Taylor Sheridan series, even topping Yellowstone.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, 2 votes for Mayor of Kingstown.
Yellowstone.
This, by the way, comes up because UFC has gone from pay-per-view to Paramount Plus, by the way, in case y'all were wondering.
So we're giving UFC its deserved attention,
That's right.
okay?
That's right. Back off Dave Ross and Bobby Brown. Larry Bird, 33. Larry Legend is tweeting in. He says, Thomas Gable over there at Borgata said he would open the Pats -1 or -1.5. So the move to 4.5 seems like the right move with Stiddy. Well, it might have opened there. Well, I'm going to close there. I'm going to tell you that right now. That doesn't seem like a... let me just put it this way. Listen to Dr. Bob later. If you don't believe me, listen to Dr. Bob later. That's all I got to say. And then Eddie Prunella. Eva gets Poots next round. Going to be a huge favorite. Crowd with her. Letdown spot. More twerking. I don't know. We'll get to that day where he's talking about Yulia Putintseva versus Eva Jovic. We'll get to that over the weekend. I haven't jumped into that group of numbers yet. Brett Liedke, talk me out of the Rams plus 8.5 and Broncos plus 10.5 teaser. I cannot talk you out of that.
Yeah, I can't.
I know it's not a Wong teaser. I cannot talk you out of that teaser.
Can't either.
Eric Burnett, what are your thoughts on the Musetti match today? I'll tell you what my thoughts are, that Mahach is really good. And that's properly priced. Musetti is a -150-ish favorite last I looked. That's about where it should be. This was always the first sort of hurdle for Musetti because Mahach is an excellent player. Big hurdle for us in our Musetti quarter bet for sure. Chance Copperpot. Pluribus is a fun show. The Breaking Bad guy made a virus kind of show with a twist. Here's my problem with it, Kelly. I find myself poking plot holes the entire time I'm watching it, and it irritates me, but I can't stop watching it. B+.
Okay. It's not.
Paul Carr joins us for some Paramount Plus reviews as well.
Very good.
And some Premier League picks. Paul Carr, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on Twitter at Paul Carr. Works for True Media Networks. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good. Paramount Plus, you can also watch Champions League, Serie A, the Italian league. There's a bunch of other soccer there.
Look at you.
You need some other sports fix to go with your UFC.
I see what you did there. Well done. Yeah. We did get a question earlier for you, Paul. Let's start there on the old Twitter machine, specifically about Team Canada in the U.S. Of course, I can't find the exact wording on it right now, but just basically had you had a chance to take a look at, here it is exactly. It's from Corbin, who says, if I could be so selfish, get you guys to ask about Canada's draw and how it fares for them.
Yeah, they got a good draw in the sense that, like the U.S., there's no world power, traditional power, top 8 team in the world in it. They got Switzerland, who's a good European team, better than Canada. They got Qatar, which is worse than Canada, just not very good, lost all their games at the World Cup last year, or 4 years ago. And then they got a playoff team, and this is where there's a bit of an X factor. That playoff team could be Italy out of Europe. It could be Northern Ireland. So you've got quite the range of possibilities there. So Canada should definitely get out of this group, especially with third-place teams advancing. They're like minus 300 to go through, so there's nothing much there to play. So from a betting standpoint, there's nothing I'm jumping on for them. But if they don't get out of the group, this tournament is a massive failure, considering they're going to be playing at home.
Wow. Okay, there you go. That's about as clear as it gets with Canada. Let's start at because this has kind of been our thing. Well, let's start with the futures, first of all. Is there anything here? Arsenal's a $5 favorite at this point in the Prem. Yeah. We're a little more than halfway through the season. Man City's the only other side in single digits at plus 450. Then everybody else is a huge long shot. Aston Villa 40-1, and then it's triple digits from there. Does that reflect what it should be?
Yeah, I've been the biggest Man City proponent all season. I've had future on them at plus 3 something before the season, and it's been floating around there most of the year. And I still want to believe that, but man, City's been really bad lately. Rodri, their star midfielder, got hurt in Champions League midweek. It's getting harder and harder to see Man City making up this deficit because Arsenal's given them a little bit of room and City just has not grabbed it. So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to still make the case for City at this price, but I'm not sure I can do it anymore. I'm just going to kind of hang on to my future and pray.
All right, then the other thing that I've, again, been sort of weirdly fascinated by is this the Wolves, Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are stuck at 2 points in a Prem where the record for the lowest amount of points in any season ever was 11, if I'm not mistaken. They are on fire. What is happening?
Yeah.
They're up to 8 points. What's going on?
4 straight unbeaten. They got a draw against Newcastle last week. And like I said last week, it's not just that they're getting these points. Like, they probably deserve maybe a win against Newcastle in some ways, but a draw is probably fair. So like, they're earning these points. This is not stealing them, as I said last week, not smash and grab, to use your favorite phrase. They look like a real team. Now they're so deep in the hole already. They, like I said, 8 points. They're 14 points out of safety, and they're like minus 3,500 to get relegated. So they're still probably going to go down, but it is, whatever consolation it is that they actually look like real team since they got a new manager. It's something.
Yeah, they will. It looks like they will not be the record holders. The record they don't.
They'll definitely get 3 more points at some point this year.
They don't want to get that, and it looks like they won't. 16 more games left in the Prem this year. So let's get to the plays. You have one tomorrow: Tottenham versus Burnley. Which way are you going?
We're going to take the better team here and not overthink it. Got 2 of my favorite ways of going about it. Tottenham win, plus 105 at Burnley Saturday. Burnley's, look, they're in next to last place, but their underlying numbers are far worse than Wolverhampton's. And they were even before this little mini renaissance that Wolves have had over the past month or so. Worst expected goal difference in the league, winless in 13 straight games. They've lost 9 of those. And they won't have their captain, John Cullen, in midfield for this game. So that's obviously not good for them. Tottenham's been struggling a little bit in the league, but they did get a big Champions League win over Dortmund on Tuesday, and some of their metrics have been trending upward over the last few games in the Premier League. So give me Tottenham. I can get plus money on this. I got it at plus 105 here.
All right, Sunday we got a couple totals, starting with Crystal Palace and Chelsea.
Yeah, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, over 2.5, minus 125. A couple teams in weird spots in that Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner, I think I referenced this last week, because basically said he's not coming back at the end of the season. They just sold one of their best players and best defender, Mark Gahey, to Manchester City, so he won't be there. And they looked a little bit out of sorts at the back last week. They gave up a couple goals to Sunderland. As for Chelsea, they have a new manager as well. Liam Rossignol came in from France. They had 4 games under him. 2 of them went over. Other 2 easily coulda, shoulda. And they haven't been the most buttoned down defensively under him yet. So Chelsea has been an over team all season, the most expected goals or total expected goals in their games, and Palace is top half as well. So minus 125 over 2.5. That's not too much juice for me here.
All right, and I guess this is the game of the week, I suppose. Arsenal, Man U, and you have a total in this one as well.
Yeah, big game. I mean, Arsenal, we've talked about, they're leading the league. Manchester United's up to 5th place. They've been looking a little bit better under new manager Michael Carrick, so they're obviously pressing for the top 4. I think they're a point off of Liverpool right now. And they're playing a little differently. They like to sit back and counter. They're defending better. They had a good 2-0 win over City. That surprised me last week, for sure. And Arsenal struggled a little bit breaking down low blocks lately. They drew Liverpool 0-0 a couple weeks ago. That was a very dull game. There were 17 shots, but less than 1 expected goal, like pretty much no good chances almost that entire game. So I expect something a little bit similar here, where Arsenal have a lot of the ball, but won't do a lot with it. United's going to try to hit them on the counter, and Arsenal's defense is still really good and probably won't give up a lot of opportunities there. So I have the under 2.5 at plus 115. I am going to root against human achievement.
Root against human achievement. I love it. Saturday, tomorrow, Tottenham over Burnley. Paul got it at plus 105. Always shop around. And then Sunday, a couple totals. Crystal Palace, Chelsea, over 2.5 goals. And then Arsenal and Man U, game of the week, under 2.5 goals, plus 115, rooting against human achievement. Last thing, we got 30 seconds here. Paul, you are a Miami Dolphins fan. You have a new head coach. Jeff Hafley, who says in the press conference, he says, I'm calling defensive plays. Also implied some of his answers. He's like, yeah, I had a second interview lined up with the Steelers. He didn't say it in those words, but he kind of implied it. Are you excited? What's your excitement meter on this?
I kind of pawned this off to my college roommate who's a Packers fan. He was sad to lose him, said he's done a good job with their defense and plugging holes and developing young guys. So those all seem like good things. I kind of think you never know what a coordinator is actually going to do as a head coach. But sure, let's go.
That's the greatest answer.
How's that for a resounding endorsement?
Here's my answer. Sure. I love it.
Sure, let's go.
And I think that's the appropriate reaction, right? Because who knows? Who knows?
Right.
Time will tell. Paul, enjoy the games. Good luck with all the bets, man. Appreciate it.
You bet. Have a good weekend.
Paul Carr, everybody. You too. Coming back, we'll talk Rams Seahawks, and we got some championship week props to look into. Receiving, rushing, passing, next on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
You know what? I'm going to blame Andy Reid for cronyism because Matt Nagy stinks. A guy like Jefferson, you got to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem, and he's been part of the problem.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
If you love the moments that make sports betting unforgettable, don't miss the top 10 most memorable sports betting moments of 2025. Looking forward to this. Hosted by Tim Murray. This coming Tuesday, January 27th at 1 p.m. Eastern, the biggest swings, the wildest finishes, the most unforgettable tickets. Relive the moments bettors won't stop talking about. Tuesday at 1 Eastern, only on VSiN. Looking forward to that.
See, again, Gil, Shedeur Sanders is in a suit because we're going to talk about the sports betting moment of him sliding in the draft, not anything he actually did on the field this year. That's why everybody else is in uniforms.
Correct. Shedeur Sanders,
I want to break that down for everybody, you know.
Supposed to be at the top of the draft, or thereabouts, right? Then we had Drew Dinsick come on 10 days before the draft. I'll never forget this. Drew Dinsick came on a numbers game, and we fashion ourselves here on a numbers game, you know, it's being ahead of stuff. And Drew was like, oh, no, dude, the writing's on the wall. He's dropping. What do you mean dropping? Well, the Saints say they're not going to interview him. All of a sudden, the Sanders camp is like, hey, you know, we'll play for anybody. Oh, also, we're not going to be at the draft, right? Like that sort of like soft evidentiary stuff. And so I was like, well, where do you think he's dropping to? And he was like, oh, top of the second round, maybe even. And I was like blown away by that.
Yeah, we were shocked by that. Yeah.
That was 10 days before, top of the second round. We thought we were like breaking news. Yeah, not so much. Second round goes, third round goes, Cleveland drafts Dylan Gabriel, fourth round goes, and the Browns trade for Shedeur in the fifth. And then, you know, what's the sort of funny part about that? He ends up, as we said right afterwards, in kind of a good situation for him because he'll probably play. And play he did. As Flacco got traded and Pickett got hurt and Dylan Gabriel wasn't anything. They're still drafting a quarterback, though, this year.
Of all the bets,
yeah,
you know those bets that you think about because you didn't make?
Oh, yeah.
The ones that kind of hurt more than the losses.
Tennis.
Whenever we first found that prop of over-under starting quarterbacks for the Browns this year, 2.5
many times.
I was so angry. I was like, that's a great bet. I think that's a great bet. Shedeur is going to see the field at some point. That was an easy cash, man. That one still pisses me off.
Didn't bet it, did you?
No, of course not.
By the way,
why would I? Why would I do something?
We do have an official answer to the question of, have we had anybody on the show who took the Patriots laying the points this week? One person did. Zach Cohen did.
Mm-hmm.
That's the official answer. Zach Cohen did.
I believe if we check the tape, too, Mike said he will bet the Patriots if it gets to 4.
That could be, but
I think he was waiting
count
on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
By the way, would you like to Cleveland Browns week 1 starting quarterback odds up at Kalshi?
Oh, really? Oh, God, that's awesome.
I would be careful with this. This is a whole offseason to go, people. Just
do
FYI.
not bet this. Do not bet this.
Shedeur Sanders 44%, Deshaun Watson 30%, Dylan Gabriel 9%.
Deshaun be ready to play, right?
Yeah, allegedly. Who knows? Allegedly, a word we use often with Deshaun Watson.
Most passing yards of the conference championship games. Matt Stafford, plus 140. Sam Darnold, usually spelled with an N, at plus 240. Drake May, plus 280. And then Jarrett Stiddy, as Sean Payton refers to him, plus 550. Let me just so let's go back, because with the Rams and the Seahawks, they played twice already. If you recall, Rams won the first game 21-19. Remember, that was when the Seahawks got pinned at the 1-yard line. They ended up with a Jason Myers 61-yard attempt, largely because they started that drive at the 1-yard line that he missed. Rams hold on for the victory, 21-19. Seahawks dominated the box score in the stats. Then game 2 was the classic in Seattle on that Thursday night before Christmas, where Seattle was down 16 in the fourth quarter. They got that Rashid Shaheed punt return touchdown in 2, got the lead in half. Then they get the touchdown to cut it to 2, and the most controversial 2-point conversion in the history of the NFL happens, where even the crowd in Seattle doesn't even know they've tied the game, or that they're even reviewing it in the first place. They tie the game. And then in overtime, remember, the Rams get the ball first, they score a touchdown. Seahawks come back, they score a touchdown, and they go for 2 for the win, and they get it. And that was a game where the Rams dominated in the box score. But just to give you an idea of those 2 games, as we look at this most passing yards, Matt Stafford threw for 130 yards in their victory, 130 in the victory, and 457 in the loss.
I think that is something that could continue with both these quarterbacks in this game. I think whatever team is winning and controlling this game, I would be shocked if we don't see the Rams get back to their 2 tight ends, run the ball, focus on that at the beginning of the game.
Darnold, by the way, went 279 and 270.
Yeah.
So right in the middle, but consistent. So I don't know. I mean, I guess my other question is there a bet here? Would you even take any of these?
There's not for me.
Yeah,
there's not for me here. I think by the numbers, I would say Darnold jumps out the most, but I'm not betting that.
Let's look at receiving yards. Most receiving yards in the conference championship games this weekend. By the way, the Bo Nix thing, I keep meaning to bring this up. Last Friday, a week ago, we were doing the most passing yards for the divisional round, and I said, people should take a flyer on the long shot, Bo Nix at 10-1. And some people thought I was crazy. I was like, hey, besides Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, who had 6 300-yard games, of all the quarterbacks playing last week, who had the most 300-yard games besides those two, it was Bo Nix at 4. So Bo Nix, I don't know if anybody tracked this, but the first game of the weekend was the Bills and the Broncos. Four games of division round, pardon me, not 6. 4 games of division round. First game was the Bills and the Broncos. Josh Allen throws for 283, I believe it was. And Bo Nix with 279 matriculating the ball down the field. Then he breaks his ankle, and they get the interference call downfield. He never gets the 5 yards he needs to beat Josh Allen. Guess what? Whole weekend, Josh Allen, number 1, 283, Bo Nix, 279. That's how we lost that 10-1 bet.
Yeah, man, I don't think that I don't think Stidham's out of this either.
No, I don't.
Like there's a world where Patriots pull away early and the Broncos are forced to play catch up, right?
But I'm just saying that's the lesson, and don't be shy of taking long shots in some of these categories. Most receiving yards.
Having said that.
Most
receiving yards.
Having said that, there's most receiving yards. Puka Nacua plus 180. JSN is plus 190, and there you go. Everybody else is double digits.
I'm only laughing, Gil, because there's some names on here I'd be interested in, but man, when you go to look at the top of the board, it's Puka. Mainly Puka, but then JSN.
You know what? Actually, I will give you a name that I will take, that I would make a bet on. Any ideas? Any guesses? Besides these,
I like Diggs. I thought he would be longer odds. You going to go Mims on me?
Marvin Mims Jr. You got it. 28-1. Because he's a home run hitter, right?
Yeah.
So Marvin Mims Jr. would be the flyer I would take in this category this week at 28-1. But just to do the same thing that I did with Stafford and Darnold, with Puka and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Puka in those 2 games against the Seahawks, 75 in game 1, 225 in game 2. He had 225 of Stafford's 457. So Puka was 75 and 225. JSN was 105 and 96. So just like with Darnold, he was consistent.
Both those guys they're the 2 guys on this whole list, the 2 guys that you are going to get an absurd amount of targets.
Yeah. I would take a flyer on Marvin Mims Jr. I really would.
I've got a bet in the rushing prop.
Okay.
You got a fun one.
Let's go to rushing. Let me just to be thorough, let's do the thing with the Rams and the Seahawks guys, right? Because it was the 2 leaders again. Just like Nacua and JSN were the 2 leaders for the respective teams in both games. So with the rushing were Kenneth Walker and Kyron Williams. Kenneth Walker, game 1 against the Rams, 67. Game 2, 100 on the button. Kyron, 91 and 70. So good production for both of them. Kenneth Walker's minus 130 to lead the championship weekend in rushing. Kyron Williams is plus 450, and then you see Patriots and Broncos.
I kind of like Kyron Williams over on his rushing prop this week. I really think the Rams are going to try to settle in early and run the ball, get the more tight ends out there, get back to what we've seen more out of them the whole season instead of the past couple weeks.
Sean McVay getting mad at Sean McVay, in other words, for what he didn't do last week.
Exactly. And he did that in Carolina, but kind of needed to because of the defense, but then carried it over to Chicago, and it was a little weird. The bet I made in here, Gil, not listed on this one, okay?
Oh, wait. You're going with Jarrett Stidham.
No.
Oh.
Want another guess?
No.
Okay. I also bet his over a half rushing yard at minus 135, but it's the same sort of handicap that you had on Mims. Rashid Shaheed.
Oh, it's a good call.
The Seahawks are down a running back. We talked about it yesterday with Mike Somich. I jumped on that prop too. Look, I bet over half a rushing yard. Do I think he's going to end up leading the entire weekend in rushing yards? Yeah, it's 100-1, and yeah, maybe I feel like it should be a little shorter than that, but not much. It's 100-1 for a reason, right?
When you only have 2 football games, though, it's worth taking a shot at that.
And your Mims breakdown, right? Yeah. Same thing. Shaheed, we have not seen much of him in the receiving game or the rushing game recently. He obviously was a big factor in the special teams play here down the stretch. doesn't it just feel like they're down a running back in Zach Charbonnet? It sure feels like they've got some Shaheed plays they've been sitting on for a while, and I think an end around or something like that to him would be a very, very unsurprising thing to see this weekend in this game.
Though I like your call on Sean McVay. Remember, the Rams last week were 10-10 in their game against the Bears through 3 quarters and had only had 11 running plays.
Yeah.
Next drive, they immediately, the first 3 plays, they give it to Kyron because Sean McVay woke up. They go 90-plus yards, score a touchdown to go up 17-10.